Howdy, howdy. Good evening or good night, depending on when you're watching this. So, we're going to talk about the Outwaters. This one's hard for me because it was so hyped up. So hyped by Bloody Disgusting, by the internet. I'm like, this better blow my socks off. And it didn't. I think it's not great. Where to begin? Well, what is the Outwaters? Basically, a group of friends go out to the desert in California uh, to basically shoot a music video because one of their friends is big into singing and la 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 la. They spend the night in the desert and spooky stuff starts happening. And spoiler alert, I can't show a lot of footage from this movie because like the second half is like a ton of blood and YouTube is very antsy, even if it's just blood. So I'm just not going to risk any of that stuff and just put stuff in from the first act, which is where I guess I should talk about there. The first act. The first act is not good. It feels like a music video, and I say that in the nicest way possible because it does have really nice shots. Like they show off the landscape. Like you get to know the characters, but there's multiple scenes of just the characters singing or dancing to music, and it's like this isn't pushing anything forward. This is just padding the time frame to pad the time frame. And because of that padding, this film is so long. It's like an hour and 45 for no reason. Like a film like this doesn't need to be that long. And if you remove those scenes, it would feel way better paced. It'll feel like a tighter experience and it would just work. Now, the main thing is I can see the vision the writer director had. I can understand what he was going for. Fully grasp it, fully comprehend it. I just think it was just told in the worst possible way imaginable. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's found footage. So, you get the whole POV Blair Witch Cloverfield style. And that's fine. It's shocking that in the 90s with the Blair Witch Project, with crappy camcorders, shitty handhelds, part of my language, you could see more of what's going on in the Blair Witch than in this movie. And what do I mean by that? Once spooky stuff starts happening, once crazy stuff starts happening, the person holding the camera, because the second and third acts basically happen strictly at nighttime. Well, to see, they give the character holding the camera the smallest, most piece of garbage flashlight humanly possible. So what you get is a character whipping the camera around, showing off stuff with this very small circle of light that I would say takes up 10% of the screen, if that. And it leads to the most frustrating watch possible. Because there's clearly like gnarly stuff going on. And we can't see any of it. Like I said, I can see the vision. Like it's auditory, not pure visually. I get it. Films like that work. But this specific film, when the audience knows that there's some gnarly shit happening, like there's blood and there's guts and there's like a freaking spooky monster at one point. I assume was a spooky monster. Since I can't see anything, I don't know. And that's what leads to the frustration. Is that you can't see anything. And I get what they were going for with it, but it just didn't work for me. The audio is very well done, well crafted, but it just never felt visceral. It never felt real. It never felt scary. There was no scares. There was no tension. I'm just watching someone for an hour just whip a camera around, basically doing nothing. And it's very frustrating. And I don't get the purpose of telling this story this way. But yeah, The Outwaters is one of the most frustrating movies I've watched this year. And I don't want to say it's bad, because it's certified fresh online, which is mind-boggling. But I don't want to call it good either, because I didn't like it. I found myself very bored of it. Like, I can only take someone whipping a camera around and seeing blood and nothing else for an hour before I'm like, okay, this is really tiresome. So, the Outwaters, I thought, I think it's a wasted experience. I think if they told the story differently, it would have been a banger. But shoehorning the audience into basically saying nothing is just exhausting. And I'm exhausted right now just talking about it and thinking about it. I'm never going to rewatch this. I'm probably never going to think about this again. It's a shame because there was some really cool stuff in there, but it just didn't work for me. But like always, thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Keep being good people. Keep moving forward. Have a good day.